That journey must have been quite a bit, huh? It must be quite thrilling.
It was thrilling. There were lots of sacrifices we had to make. There were lots of difficulties on the way. But then we have the mindset that says every opportunity, every obstacle is an opportunity. Every sacrifice is a joy. You know, every responsibility is a sacred calling. So as people who have understood those, I think while at one level it is a lot of hard work, it is some sacrifice and some deferred gratification, our mindset is that it's a joy.
Those days, the government was very business unfriendly. It took us a year to get a telephone connection. We used to have a joke, and that is, half the people in the country are waiting for a telephone, the other half are waiting for a dial tone. And second, it took us 3 years to get a license to import a computer.
And that was what you were about. You needed a computer to do the job you were doing.
Absolutely. So the environment was extremely business unfriendly. But then we said, look, there is a huge global opportunity, and therefore we should stick with it. We stuck with it, and God has been kind to us.
You had a little money behind you, your wife's money, didn't you?
Yeah, we just put together 10,000 rupees, or about $250, not much.
To start the company?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was enough to keep you going for about 2 months, was it?
No, less than 2 months. But we worked a good deal with our first customer. He said, look, I will give you an advance for a couple of months, and then every month I'll pay you on time.
Your friends, but you also compete in the marketplace.
Well, I think this, in my opinion, is the way competition should be. I have tremendous respect for Tatas. I have tremendous respect for Ratan. And I think to be able to compete with his group is an honor to Infosys. And we have so far conducted ourselves as worthy competitors to Ratan's TCS.
You had 6 colleagues, the founding fathers. Were you all computer techies?
Yes, they all worked with me. They were much junior to me at a company called PCS in Mumbai.
And you brought the team together to do what?
There was a huge opportunity for software to be developed for corporations because hardware had become cheaper. And we realized that in India there were lots of engineers who did not have job opportunities. Therefore we said, why don't we build a company that focuses on developing bespoke software applications for customers.
First of all, let's all remember that trust is the currency that reduces the cost of transactions in a society. Because if there is no trust, then you will have to start resorting to n number of instruments. And eventually, it will always come down to trust. No matter what instruments you use, you will have to trust somebody who implements those instruments. So trust is most important. Second, after all, society contributes customers, society contributes employees, society contributes investors, society elects politicians, society contributes bureaucrats. So if you want to succeed, then you have to create trust with the society. If you don't create trust with the society, then there is no hope for that corporation to grow. Now, on the issue of the trust deficit, I think certainly, the kind of transactions that we have had in India are about the same level as anywhere else. I think it takes a little bit of determination on the part of both the parties to ensure that there is trust, and both the parties will have to work towards making sure that there is trust. And I think wherever this effort has been made, whether it's in India or elsewhere, the transaction is less costly, the transaction is smoother, and both the parties are happy.
We established a new idea that software companies should have campuses in India. We realized that we would be able to take on the big players, the IBMs and the others, because what happened in 1991-92 was that thanks to the liberalization, a lot of foreign companies came to Bangalore. Many of my friends said, look, your game is up because all your people will leave and go and join these IBMs and Citibanks and Microsofts and Digital Equipment Corporation, all that. We sat down and we discussed and debated what we could do. We said there are three choices. One, to go to the government and say, keep all these guys out. That was against my personal philosophy. I always believed in competition, I always believed in free market. Second was to say, look, this is our karma. We have run this short marathon from 81 to 92, we'll give it up. That again was anathema to me. The third was to say, let's find out what these great corporations do and see if we can do it better in our own backyard. And we realized there were two or three things that they were doing. One, they would create excellent workplace and they would satisfy all the hygiene conditions. Second, there'll be a very good compensation, and that we said we'll introduce stock options and make sure that our people get much higher than compensation than any multinational. And we said, so the first thing that we have to do is to create a campus where it's green, clean, where there are food courts, where people can park their vehicles easily, and it may be a little bit difficult for them to come to this place in the morning and in the evening, but considering the fact that they'll have wonderful, productive, and quality 8 hours, it's worth it. That was very important. In fact, that was a very crucial instrument for us to win the game against the multinationals.
I have a slightly indelicate question. I once read somewhere that when you go home in the evenings, you clean the lavatory at home. Is that right?
Yes, I do that. Well,
to show your humility, or because it needs cleaning, or what?
No. You see, we have a caste system in India where the so-called lowest caste was a set of people who cleaned the toilets. And my father believed that that caste system is the wrong one. And therefore, he made all of us clean our toilets in the house. And that habit has continued, and I want my children to do